today's lesson we will cover the causes of the Age of Exploration, and we're also going to cover the technology advancements during the Age of Exploration as well. We're going to start today with the causes, and then we'll wrap up with the technology as well. So, let's start with a little bit of an overview of the Age of Exploration. Understand that all explorers didn't just come from England, UK region. They also came from Spain, France, Germany, and other modern day countries in Europe as well. Now, there were 4 reasons why the Age of Exploration happened, or why the Age of Exploration was as large as it was. The first main reason is gold. Explorers wanted money. They had a desire for wealth. The countries that were sending these explorers needed the money because at the time of the Renaissance exploration era, wars were going on all the time. And wars were very expensive. They knew, the countries knew, and the explorers knew, that they needed gold and silver and other jewels to pay for the war. So gold was a means for getting rich. It was also a means for paying for the wars that the countries were fighting at the time. Another reason why is God. During the time of the explorers had a desire to spread the Christian religion all across the world. They didn't know what they were getting into, but they wanted to spread Christianity once they got there. They also wanted a glory part. They wanted to expand their knowledge of what the rest of the world was all about. They also wanted to bring fame to themselves and their homeland. They wanted to become famous. So you got the 3 G's. Gold, God, and glory. Now, the 4th one I threw in there. Sea route to Asia. Primarily for trade. Now, we've talked about that the Silk Road goes from China to about the Mediterranean Sea. Well, during the Age of Exploration and through the Middle Ages and up until the Age of Exploration, the Silk Road was very dangerous and very difficult to get across without getting taken over by tribes and getting your goods stolen. So the explorers wanted to come up with a new route. They wanted to find a sea route from Europe to China, Japan, the islands in the Pacific. Okay? So, what they wanted to try to do, which they would eventually learn how to do, is come from Europe all the way down through Africa, around what is South Africa today, and come up. Okay? Now, it took them some time to find this, but eventually that was their hope, was to find a new route to Asia from Europe, that it wouldn't have to go all on land, they could go through sea as well. So, we have talked about the causes of the Age of Exploration. Let's move on to the advancements in technology. There are 3 main advancements. There's improved maps. Beforehand, they basically drew what they thought was a map on a piece of paper. It wasn't really a map. They didn't know what the rest of the world was all about. And eventually, they drew maps of the continents in their spots, except for Antarctica. But they did draw the main continents, Asia, Africa, Europe, North and South America, and part of Australia on these maps. They also came up with magnetic compass. Magnetic compass, before the magnetic compass, they would simply rely on the sun and the stars of where they were going. The magnetic compass allowed them to go north, east, south, and west and determine it by the compass itself. And we've already talked about Caravel, but Caravel allowed them to sail through the wind, not with the wind anymore. They also allowed them to carry more cargo and more people. So more people got the opportunity to explore these new areas. So today, we have talked about technology advancements, improved maps, magnetic compass, Caravel. We have also talked about the causes of the Age of Exploration, God, glory, gold, and the sea route to Asia. In our coming lessons, we're going to talk about what the explorers found once they got to the Latin American region of the world. And that'll wrap up our year for this year. What did they find once they got to the Latin American region? Okay, so this ends the causes and the technology of the Age of Exploration.